Welcome, hello.
Hello.
This is our last week of our chakra series. So today we are focusing on this beautiful 1,000-petaled lotus Anahata chakra. So again, to remind you, here's red Muladhara, orange Svadhisthana, yellow Manipura, green Anahata, blue Vishuddha, purple Ajna, and every color imaginable, everything, the whole universe is right there in Sahasrara. So even though this is the last week, it is never too late for us to talk about Kundalini. I haven't mentioned it before because I want you just to feel how all these different exercises activate different parts of the body before you find out exactly what the action according to yoga philosophy is. So for that, I'm going to read you back from our old friend Jaranda Samhita, 600-year-old text, something like that, 500-year-old text that we read in the first week in Muladhara Chakra. We read a little bit there. So remember Muladhara Chakra, the seat, the bottom, the root chakra, the one that's at the bottom of our spinal cord. Muladhara Chakra is the seat or dwelling place of primal energy, which is called Kundalini Shakti. You may have heard of Kundalini before. Kundalini is the serpent coiled in deep slumber around the Swayambhu Linga, is the source of all energy in humankind and the universe, whether sexual, emotional, mental, psychic, or spiritual. While this energy is one, it takes on various qualities and attributes depending on the psychic center through which it manifests. The aim of yoga is to awaken Kundalini, and dormant Kundalini, I should say, which is sleeping down there in Muladhara Chakra, curled up like a little snake, through self-purification and concentration of the mind, and to lead it up through the chakras to Sahasrara, that's the one up here that we're working on today, where as pure energy or Shakti, it unites with pure consciousness or Shiva. So a lot of that probably sounds pretty esoteric, but the idea is there is a central channel through the body where all the chakras are situated, and Brian's going to show a picture of that. He's going to bring it nice and close to the camera. It's right here. It's a picture from the Shivananda Companion to Yoga that we looked at a few weeks ago. And you can see there, everything works its way up. But you'll also see there these little like circle looking things crisscrossing. Is there a picture of those on the other page? Here we go. So these circle looking things are actually straight lines. They are nadis. They are channels of energy that go on either side of Sushumna Nadi, which is the central channel of energy that Kundalini ascends when all the chakras are activated. So I'm going to read you a little bit about that from this book. Thank you, Brian. Light on Yoga. Really cool looking book, huh? By Iyengar. He is a Indian yogi who brought a lot of yoga to the West. He wasn't the only one to do so, but he definitely was a big deal guy. Formed a school called Iyengar Yoga. And this book, which this old edition from 1973 is the 5th printing. The first edition was 1966. So I imagine now Light on Yoga is at its 35th edition or something like that. So what he writes is, the human body is a miniature universe in itself. Hatha is composed of the syllables ha and ta, which means sun and moon, respectively. The solar and lunar energy is said to flow through the two main nadis, Pingala and Ida, which start from the right and left nostrils respectively and move down to the base of the spine. Pingala is the nadi of the sun, or the channel of the sun in the body, while Ida is the nadi of the moon. In between them is Sushumna, the nadi of fire. That's the central channel that all those chakras are located on. As stated earlier, Sushumna nadi is the main channel for the flow of nervous energy, meaning energy of the nerves, not, I'm freaking out nervous, and is situated inside the Merudanda or spinal column. Pingala and Ida intersect each other and also Sushumna at various places. So these junctions are called chakras, or wheels, and regulate the body mechanism as flywheels regulate an engine. So Brian's going to show another picture. Again, the cover of this Chakras book that we went over a few weeks ago. And you'll see, you see the Ida and Pingala. So let's see, this is the left nostril, so it's probably, this one's Ida, the red one. Well, no, that one makes sense. It must come out the right. So maybe the blue is Ida, the moon, the cooling, the feminine force, and the red is Pingala, the fiery, solar, masculine force. And as they cross this central channel, you see it right here, Sushumna Nadi, that's where the chakras are. So now hopefully it all makes sense. Maybe not. Thank you, Brian. I'm going to read one last little thing. This is from a great book from the 80s called Kundalini by Ajit Mukherjee. He's written a lot of yoga books. And this is a little something about our very last chakra that we're going to work on for this series, Sushumna Nadi, Sahasrara Chakra. Sahasrara, meaning thousand, is the lotus of the 1,000 petals located 4 finger breadths above the crown of the head. Also called Brahmarandra, it is the meeting place of Kundalini, Shakti, and Shiva. The petals bear the total sound potential represented by all the letters of the Sanskrit alphabet, 50 in each layer. So there's 20 for each 50 letter in each of the 50 letters in the Sanskrit alphabet. The chakra synchronizes all colors, encompasses all senses and all functions, and is all-pervading in its power. The Sahasrara is the center of quintessential consciousness, where integration of all polarities is experienced and the paradoxical act of transcendence is accomplished in passing beyond ever-changing samsara, or just, the challenges of life, and emerging from time and space. So this is the chakra up here where you connect with whatever you believe the next level of consciousness is. It could be consciousness of the whole universe, it could be a deity, it could be multiple deities, whatever your belief system holds, this is the spot. So without further ado, let's do some centering. So today, because we're working with this very, very high, subtle place of awareness, we really want to be grounded into our body. So we're going to do a full body self-massage. Inhale the arms out wide like this. Exhale, clap the hands together. And then rub the hands together vigorously. Spread the fingers wide as you do this, so you're even rubbing those areas in between the fingers. Building some heat here. And I'm going to take off my glasses, but watch what I'm doing before you take off yours. I'll try to describe it as best I can. I'm going to take my hands, now hopefully they're warmed up, and pat my head, bringing energy to Sahasrara Chakra already, but also just bringing energy up the body to the head. Yes, you can tap your toes when you do it too, that's fine. From here, I'm going to massage my scalp. My haircut makes it really easy for me to do this. You do what you feel is best for your haircut today. Massage my scalp again, bringing energy here, and then smoothing my hands down my face, down my scalp, down my neck, pulling the earlobes, pulling the ear cartilage, moving that around, just kind of bringing awareness and blood flow to the top of the body. From here, we'll sweep out our shoulders a little bit. Take one hand down the outside of one arm and up the inside like this, like you're sweeping off water. Same thing, other arm. You can do this quicker or slower than I'm doing it. The key is just that you're bringing awareness to the physical sensations of the body as you do this. You are literally grounding in your body. From here, try to sort of sweep the belly open as if you're opening up through the tummy here. Hands come from the center to the edges. And then you can take your hands into little cup shapes and knock along the chest. People with breasts, don't knock on the breasts, knock around them. And then I'll stand up to show you what's happening next. From here, we'll slide the hands down the back, smoothing them over where the kidneys are around here. So calming the energy down. And then you can either do this standing up or sitting down. Might be easier sitting down. We'll take one hand to the outside of the hip, slide the hand down the leg, up the inside. So again, down the outside, up the inside. And the same thing, other leg. If you're standing, you're doing a full-on forward fold here if you feel ready for that. Otherwise, take a seat, slide the leg down the outside, up the inside. And then lastly, if you can cross a foot over a knee, do so. If not, pull up a second chair, put your leg on it. We're gonna tap the top and bottoms of the feet. You can also massage the feet. Yes, that's totally fine. If you want to rub the feet a little bit, bring some awareness there, that's fine, particularly the soles of the feet. You can also take the toes and shake them, big toe and pinky toe first, middle two toes, and then the very middle toe. Same thing, other foot. Maybe also massaging the foot a little bit. Maybe taking the big toe and pinky toe, giving a little shake. Next two toes, a little shake, and then the middle toe, a little shake. And then from here. All right, so welcome to your body. Last week we did Shen breathing from Qigong, where you inhale through as if you're breathing through the third eye, hold the breath briefly under the brain, exhale through the back of the head, inhale back of the head, hold the breath, exhale third eye. This week we're going to do that again, but we're going to inhale as if we're breathing up from the base of the spine, and the breath is moving up the central channel of the body, and then when you exhale, it comes out the top of the head. So you could even practice holding in between. Inhale, breath comes up, maybe you hold it around the heart or the belly. Exhale, it goes out the rest of the way through the head. Next, inhale, inhale as if you're breathing through a hole in the top of the head. The breath comes down. Exhale through the base of the spine. So let's give that a couple tries. Inhaling base of the spine. Exhale through the crown of the head. Feel free to use your hand to touch the crown of the head to help you bring awareness there if you need it. Inhale through the crown of the head. Exhale through the base of the spine. Inhaling through Muladhara Chakra. Exhale through Sahasrara Chakra. Inhale through Sahasrara Chakra. Exhale through Muladhara Chakra. One more time. Inhaling from the bottom. Exhale through the top. Inhale through the top. Exhale through the bottom. And when you're ready, come back to our bodies again. And let's warm up our joints so that the energy can flow properly in our bodies. So Brian is going to teach us some ankles and knees.
So we did this last week, if you remember. We're going to take the feet out, or you can do this standing 1 foot at a time.
Or you can do it seated 1 foot at a time,
Or you can do it seated 1 foot at a time. And we're going to just roll the ankles in one direction. And then when you're ready, switch the direction. And you can do them both going in the same direction like this, or you can have them,
mirror each other,
whatever you like to do. Just getting some motion into those ankles. All right, where are we going next?
Knees.
Knees. So either standing or sitting, we're going to pick up one leg, and we're going to take it like we're drawing a circle on the floor with our foot. So you'll feel this is starting to get up into the knee, up into the hip a little bit as well. Switch the direction you're drawing that circle. And then you can release that, and you can shake it out a little bit. We're going to pick up the next leg, same thing, drawing that circle on the floor with the foot a few times in one direction. And then when you're ready, switch the direction. And when you're ready to release that, just shake it out.
Wrists. So, taking the thumbs, folding them into the palms, we'll take the forefingers around the thumbs, give it a little squeeze just to feel that isometric pull through the forearms, and let's draw circles with our wrists at hip level. When you're ready, inhale, arms out wide, maybe just to shoulder height, maybe all the way up overhead. Exhale, arms together and down. When they come back by your hips, switch direction. Inhale, arms together and up. Maybe the shoulder height, maybe up overhead, depending on your shoulders today. Exhale the arms out, either from here or overhead and down. Shake the arms out a little bit. That brings some life to them as well. And then again, we'll fold the thumbs in, curl the forefingers around the thumbs, take the arms in a T. If you can, spin the arms up as if your arms are propellers facing the ceiling. You're drawing the energy upward here. Inhaling deeply. And when you exhale, switch direction. This is hard on your arms. You can always do this down too. But if you can go up, feel free. When you're ready, shake the arms off. Maybe you teach us a little bit of neck stuff.
Next up.
Just a little bit.
Okay, we're going to turn our head to the left, right.
Or left.
Or left. And then turn your head to the left. So we're just going back and forth. Just let the body relax, let the shoulders relax. If you want to time breathing, you can inhale to one side and exhale to the other side, or just breathe deeply. And then we'll come back to center, and let's take our ear, one ear to the shoulder, and then the other ear to the shoulder. Just
and I'm going to hop
back
in.
and forth here.
I'm going to hop in on this one. So this specific exercise where we're stretching the sides of the neck and the back of the neck, see if you can point your eyes in and up. And in and up as far as you can, ideally towards Sahasrara Chakra. If not, don't worry about it. You can keep the eyes closed or have them open. But if the eyes feel safe to do this, point them in and up.
And then coming back to center, let's now tilt our head back, open up the throat, and exhale, fold, look down. So we're just, again, looking up. Keep a longness in the back of the neck. Don't collapse all the way back. It's like you're reaching up. And just going, looking up, looking down. Nice, loose, relaxed necks. And then you can come back to center.
And then from here, let's just exhale the chin to the chest. We'll inhale, roll one ear over one shoulder. Exhale, chin to chest. Inhale, roll the other ear over the other shoulder. So going side to side, our little rainbows reflected in the cool mountain lake, maybe? Or the Baltimore Inner Harbor if you feel like very locational about it. Inhaling, ear comes over shoulder, exhale, chin to chest. Inhaling, other ear comes over other shoulder, exhale, chin to chest. Going back and forth like this, just a little bit more. And then next time the chin comes to chest, we'll just bring it to neutral. Come sit at the very front of the chair, and maybe Brian will show us some seated cat-cows and jump roping
So
spine.
sitting at the end of our chair,
I'll show
or you
you
can
from
do
the
this
side.
on the floor in tabletop as well. We're going to bring the hands to the knees or to the floor. We're going to inhale, opening the shoulders, exhale, and round the back. So inhale, arching, opening up through the chest and shoulders, exhale, rounding back. We're just going to go back and forth like that a few times. Seated cat-cow or regular cat-cow if you're doing this in tabletop position. And next time you come through to cow, let's round off to one side to come into cat, and then continue that rounding off to the other side to come back into cow. So now it's like we're making more of a circular motion with the spine. It's like we're stirring the bowl. Imagine your hips are a big bowl of something, and you just stir in that bowl.
A big bowl of memories.
A big bowl of memories.
How very artistic.
And when you're ready, switch the direction you're drawing that circle. And when you're ready, you can just make it your way back towards center.
And from here, without further ado, we're going to stand up. So the torso needs some love too, as this is the whole area of the chakras. Even though there are chakras in the shoulders, hip bones, elbows, knees, wrists, ankles, and palms of the hands, soles of the feet, right now we're focusing on these 7. We will actually get to those later today. So take the feet nice and wide. We're just going to draw some circles with our hips. Just a few in one direction, warming yourself up. And then when you're ready, we'll switch direction, taking those hip rolls the other way. You do figure eights?
Sure.
Thank you.
And when you're ready, we'll come back to stillness. Now we're going to do figure 8. So this is as if you take one hip forward and back, and then the other one forward and back.
So same thing as you've seen pretty much all the previous weeks.
Drawing a figure 8 with the hips. If you want to get the arms involved, you can have them mirror the hips, or the hips can follow them, or they can follow the hips. But at this point, we'd be doing a backstroke kind of a motion. And then when you're ready, we're going to switch the direction.
If you need to shake off in
If you
between
need to stop
the
and
figure
shake
eights,
off for a minute, feel free to do it. Then we'll go hips from back to front. And if you want to get the arms involved, it's like you're swimming forward. Freestyle.
Freestyle. All right. When you're ready, shake it off. For real, shake it off. So
Skeletal shake.
I'm going to give you 2 options for shaking. I'm moving this chair now because we're going to get into some stuff here. We got to have space. So, shaking. It could be feet wide, shaking it all down. It could be feet together, hopping in place, bringing it up. Whatever feels best for you today. Whatever feels like it's going to give you the energy or grounding that you need at this point. And if you're wondering, well, what's the difference between needing energy and needing grounding? Ask yourself, are you feeling overwhelmed? You might need grounding. Are you feeling sluggish? You might need energy. So see where your body feels today, somewhere in that spectrum of needs. You might need both. You might need grounding and energy, whatever feels right for you. But when you're ready, let's take the feet fairly wide, and we're going to let our shaking turn into twisting. And this time, with our Tibetan twists, we're actually gonna breathe a little differently than we have in previous weeks. So when you're ready, the shaking is gonna just come to twisting, side to side. You can bring arms out to chest level, aka Anahata Chakra level, heart level. We're actually going to inhale to the left and exhale to the right, making the sound shh on the exhale. Shh. 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 At this point, let's bring the arms up so that the hands are around the level of Ajna or Sahasrara Chakra. Again, inhaling left, exhaling right. And then we'll take the hands down to Muladhara Svadhisthana level. Inhaling left, exhaling right. And you can bounce it out, releasing. You might have been wondering, well, what about Manipura in the belly and Vishuddha in the throat? They didn't get covered in those. Well, the twisting is all Manipura, and the shh is activating Vishuddha. All right, what do we got next? Swaying palm tree. How do you feel about offering swaying palm tree?
We're going to bring our feet to hips width distance, parallel, facing in the same direction. We'll take the arms out into a T. We'll take an inhale and reach to one side, stretch to one side, grabbing a giant beach ball. Exhale back through center. Inhale, opening to the other side, grabbing that beach ball. Exhale back through center. So we're just going to go back and forth like this. Inhaling as we reach, exhaling as we come back through center. Imagine your body going up and then tilting over at the pinnacle.
And we can still bring a sense of chakra awareness here, but it's not quite the chakras we're aware of, but Ida and Pingala Nadi, the channels of energy that flow like a caduceus, like the medical symbol, around Sushumna Nadi, the central channel where all the chakras are located. So as you stretch from one side to the other, you are activating those channels of energy in the body.
And when you're ready, you're just going to come back to center. Feel free to shake it out for a little bit if you need to.
So 2 options for a little something to activate Sushumna Nadi, the central channel of the body, as well as all 7 of the chakras. You can do your up-downs that we've shown last week and previous weeks. You can do it with a chair, without a chair. So with a chair, inhaling, hips are close to the chair, heart comes up, tail is tucked. Exhale, stepping away from the chair, bending the knees, folding forward, taking the hands down the chair into your forward fold. Inhale, walking the hands up the chair, stepping towards the chair, heart comes up, and exhaling, taking the hands down the chair, etc., etc. Same thing, inhale, hands to the hips or low back, heart up. Exhale, hands slide down the legs, bend the knees as much as you need to, forward fold. Inhale, slide the hands up the legs. So that is an option, up downs, or second option, taking the feet wide. Both feet are facing forward. I'll show from the side, Brian will show from the front. We're going to chop some wood, which, you know, nice active exercise, really gets those wheels spinning in the body. Interlacing the fingers of both hands and be gentle with yourself. If this seems like, watch us first, and if this seems like something your body wants, go ahead, enjoy it. You can go slow or fast. If it seems like something your body doesn't want, stay with the up-downs that we just showed you. I'm going to inhale, arms up overhead, taking my hips forward a little bit. Exhale, bending at the knees. I fold forward, making the sound ha, sending energy up the spine. Inhale, arms come up. Exhale, ha. So you can go slow or fast. Inhaling, ha. Couple more. And then stay folded forward here. If you're doing up downs, come to your forward fold. Stay folded forward there. Maybe toe heel the feet a little closer together if your feet are still wide from chopping wood. Bend the knees as much as you need to. Grab for opposite elbows. Let the upper body sway side to side. So we're going to go into one more thing to sort of stretch open Sushumna Nadi, the central channel of the body. If your feet are closer together, now again toe heel them wide. We're going to roll up to standing. And it's up to you. You can do this practice in a chair or standing. I'll show it in a chair. Brian will show it standing. So what this looks like is Brian's going to bend his knees, and I'll do it standing first to show from the side. You put your hands right at the hip crease here. So the heels of the hands are right there. Depending on the length of your arms, if you press in there, your shoulders may come up by your ears. That's okay. We're stretching the spine here. So we're bringing a lot of length between here and the tail. From here, he's going to fold forward, and as he inhales, he's going to push himself up, holding the breath. Exhale. Forward fold. So if you're in the chair, what that looks like is press into the thighs, folding forward. We'll inhale, exhale, let the head come down. So again, inhaling, lengthen through the spine, exhale, forward fold. Inhale, drawing energy up, exhale, releasing energy down. One more time, inhaling, exhale, and from here you can slide the hands down the legs, sweep off the legs, sweep off the arms, returning briefly to our self-massage, all that good stuff. I'm going to stand back up, so if you're seated, a couple more standing things, and we're going to do a little something for the organs. How would you describe this movement?
It is like it's like you're reaching down one side, reaching down the other side, like you're grabbing like a suitcase off the floor. But it's not a hiking up on the opposite side, right? More of a reaching down one side, reaching down the other side. And if you want to get a real technical with it, you can try to do it and keep your head still and just make it isolate just this movement into the shoulders, which is basically massaging the organs,
the abdominal cavity, and also the house of most of the chakras. I'd say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You're like doing these 4. This one's kind of getting some attention, but not as much. So a little more of this, and when you're ready, we'll just shake it all off. Balancing today is extra. So if you are practicing this class in a room filled with glass coffee tables with hard pointed edges, maybe find a different room to do this in. You want some space because we are going to do whirling, and whirling can make you dizzy. So I'll talk a little bit about it first. We're going to go first from India to the Middle East. We haven't been there yet. We've been to China and Tibet, but we haven't been to the Middle East. So maybe you're familiar with the Sufi mystics of Islam. It's a sect of Islam that is focused on more metaphysical and mystical elements of the religion and of just the body and being a human on this earth and in this universe in general. And so the Sufi mystics are famous for doing a practice called whirling, and they're called the whirling dervishes. You can look them up on YouTube. It's great seeing the performance. I mean, it's a ritual, so it's more than just a performance. It also is related to a deep spiritual aspect. And the way the Sufi mystics whirling, it's almost like you're screwing the head of a screw up or down, depending on the direction. But Sufi mystics tend to whirl in a counterclockwise direction. So in other words, their right hand is up, receiving energy and bliss from the universe. Their left hand is down, letting their body act as a conduit for this universal purity and bliss and joy and love and all the good stuff, so that they can kind of spread it out and give it to the world around them. They are acting as vehicles for their spiritual beliefs and divine joy. Typically, it's believed that when you're spinning counterclockwise, so meaning my right shoulder is moving to the left, you're taking energy out and down. It's getting wider. How do I even begin to describe this? I'm sorry, we're going a mile wide and an inch deep here, so my apologies if anybody who practices Sufi Islam is watching this and is like, what are they doing? Feel free to comment in the comments and let me know if I'm messing up. So if you would like to try Sufi style whirling, which again is moving energy down the central channel, you can see what that feels like. You step and pivot with the left foot. The right foot steps behind the left foot. And if you watch these videos of people doing this practice, they actually start with their hands at their chest like this to help them get into the motion. But the idea is the left foot stays right where it is, the right foot moves around it. Some people say this is also the motion of the earth around the sun.
I would caution on doing too many.
Right. Watch us before you practice. You might want to do just one circle. You will get dizzy. You might just want to do one circle. You might be able to get away with 7. You might find yourself happy with 3. Some people like to do 21. Listen to your body. You will get dizzy. This is how it works. So, if you would like to try, when you're ready to release the arms from this position, you take the right arm, palm face up. Left arm comes palm face down, and arms can come up overhead to Sahasrara.
Woo.
When you feel that you are at that woo phase and you've had enough of this whirling, jump to the center into a squat, put the hands on the hips, stand up, look at your nose tip. This will ground you. This will help you feel connected to the earth and not ready to keep spinning until you fall down like a top. And when you're ready, bring your eyes back to neutral, shake everything off. So Sufi mystics are not the only people who whirl. There's also a practice in Tibet of whirling, yet it goes the other way. The energy is going in and up as you go from right to left. And actually for this one, both hands are face down. There's a give or take 2,500-year-old practice in Tibet called the 5 Tibetans as part of the Buddhist physical yoga practices. This is the first of the 5 Tibetans, or the first practice of 5 practices to help move Kundalini and spiritual energy from the root to the top of the head. So for this one, you'll be pivoting on your right foot. The right foot stays planted and the left foot goes around. One word of advice as you do this, palms face down, spinning clockwise, if the clock is on the floor, is keep an eye on the ground. When you've had enough, jump into your squat, hands to hips, come to standing, look down at your nose. Keep these practices playful.
And feel free to go as slow as you need to. If it's too intense going whatever speed, do it real slow.
And also to add to this, when you're ready, feel free to shake it off a little bit. To add to this, even though the Tibetan style is spinning clockwise and bringing the energy in and up helps to ascend Kundalini through the body, and then the Sufi practice helps to ground it and bring you back to the earth. Listen to your body. If you feel like you're really overstimulated, maybe the chakras or wheels in your body are spinning really fast, in which case you might actually find more balance in grounding than in bringing it all up. Because the goal with Kundalini is, yes, you want to bring it up. It helps you to activate your spiritual and energetic potential as a being in this universe, but you can't keep it up here all the time or you'll just feel super overwhelmed by reality. You've got to bring it back down and let it come back to resting in Sahasrara Chakra. So just keep that in mind. This is a take as needed practice. Alrighty. And yes, we've made it. We've made it to practically the end of our practice, so feel free to come back to a comfortable seat. You can sit all the way, well, maybe all the way back on the chair, but we're actually going to return to our self-massage and ground ourselves back in our body. So again, inhaling, arms out, Exhale, slap the hands together. Same thing as we did right at the very beginning of this practice. Really rubbing the hands together. Fingers are wide, bringing some heat to the palms. And then tapping. Tapping the top of the head, the sides, the back, below the occiput. Maybe giving yourself that dry shampoo experience here. And then smoothing the hands down the head, down the face, down the neck, sweeping them out the shoulders. Taking one hand to one shoulder, sliding it out down the outside of the arm, up the inside. Matriculating and mixing and assimilating all of the energy you just brought to your body through all these different practices. Same thing, other arm. And then when you're ready, opening through the belly, cupping both hands, tapping the chest, avoiding the breast tissue. Tapping the belly gently. Don't give yourself indigestion. You can even rub the belly going in a up the right side, down the left side kind of direction. And then sliding the hands up and down the back, giving those kidneys some love, give the lumbar spine some love. And then when you're ready, one hand comes down the outside of one leg, up the inside. Same thing, other leg. Cross one ankle over the knee or bring it to another chair. Clap off the feet. And massage the feet a little bit, or the foot. This is one foot at a time. Maybe taking one finger to the big toe, one to the pinky toe, give it a waggle. Next two toes, and middle toe. And then same thing, the other foot. Massaging the sole of the foot, maybe the top of the foot a little bit too. One finger to big toe, one finger to pinky toe, waggling the toes, next two toes, middle toe, and then tapping the feet off. Nadi Shodna. So now that you know a little more about the channels of energy in the body, the nadis, one thing we should say is they terminate out each nostril when they go crossing across all the chakras here. They come out, the Pingala goes out right, Ida goes out left. So we're going to balance those two in preparation for meditation.
Left hand can be in Chin Mudra, or Jnana Mudra, or just resting in the lap. Right hand, pointer, middle finger come into the palms, and we use the thumb and the ring finger to alternate nostrils. Another option is to take these two fingers, if this is too crampy on your hand, you can take these two fingers, rest them on the third eye, and still use the thumb and ring finger to close off different nostrils. And if it's all just too confusing, you can always just go like this, as we alternate breathing out of different nostrils. So before we alternate anything, let's all take a big, deep inhale, big exhale. Let's do one more of those. Big inhale, big exhale. Now we're going to close off the right nostril and inhale just through the left nostril. Slow, deep inhale. Close off both nostrils. Hold the breath just for a moment. And then on the exhale, we're going to release just the right nostril, exhaling through the right. And then inhaling right, sorry. Hold the breath. Exhale left. That's one full round. We'll do a few more of those. Inhaling left. Hold the breath. Exhale right. Inhale right. Hold the breath. Exhale left. Inhale left. Hold the breath. Exhale right. Inhale right. Retain the breath. Exhale left. Inhale left. Retain the breath. Exhale right. Inhale right. Hold the breath. Exhale left. And then you can release hands down. Just breathe normally through both nostrils.
All right. When you're ready, we will try an interesting meditation today. I'm going to be talking the whole time again, so if you prefer a traditional quiet meditation practice, feel free to pause or mute me and join us up at the end. So we're going to do something called Nyasa. It is a placing of energy in the body. It's a placing of awareness of spots in the body. And specifically, we are going to place the awareness in front of the chakras, behind the chakras, and then just right down the middle of the chakras. And then after that, we're going to place the awareness at the minor chakras that I mentioned earlier, the shoulders, the elbows, the wrists, the palms, the hips, the knees, the ankles, and the soles of the feet. So, for this practice, let's do good old-fashioned chin mudra. So, first finger, which represents the personal, the ego, the self, the you, and the thumb, which represents everything else, the universe, greater consciousness, etc. You bring those two together to touch like this, or you can even tuck the pointer finger below the pad of the thumb, whichever you prefer, whatever feels easiest for you to hold. We hold this mudra, or this hand gesture, which is the gesture of consciousness, is a means of keeping the energy flowing in the body. When we release that pointer finger, energy can flow through the nadis, through the channels of energy in the body, because there are a lot more than just those three in the middle. They go all over the body. It's a crazy highway of energy. The energy flows out the fingers. So when you bring that first finger and thumb together like this, it creates a feedback loop, and the energy keeps flowing within the body. Palms can rest face up on your lap, or you could even bring the three extended fingers on top of each other and let the little digits, what do they call this, the flanks? I forget what they call this part. You can bring these together like that. That's a more sort of Tibetan meditative hand posture. Hopefully you can see. Here you go. So whatever feels best for your body today. But before we do this hand gesture, just kind of rub the top of your head for a second, if you can, if it feels safe to do that and not mess up your very fabulous hairdo. And then bring the hands to the gesture, let them rest in your lap or one on top of the other. Soles of the feet flat on the ground. And just inhale as if you could breathe through that spot right there at the top of the head. That is Sahasrara Chakra. So we'll breathe in as if we're breathing in through Sahasrara Chakra. And then exhale as if you're breathing out through Sahasrara Chakra. And if you wish to hypercharge your knowledge of chakras, you can even think as you inhale Sahasrara, and as you exhale Sahasrara. So we'll start at the top one more time, inhaling Sahasrara, exhale Sahasrara. Now we bring the energy down to the center of the forehead. And if you want, you can touch there for a second and then bring your hand back to Chin Mudra. Inhale, Ajna. Exhale, Ajna. Again, inhale, Ajna. Exhale, Ajna. Next we come to the throat. Inhale, Vishuddha. Exhale, Vishuddha. Inhale, Vishuddha. Exhale, Vishuddha. To the heart. Inhale, Anahata. Exhale, Anahata. Inhale, Anahata. Exhale, Anahata. The belly. Inhale, Manipura. Exhale, Manipura. Inhale, Manipura. Exhale, Manipura. The front of the hips. Inhale, Svadhisthana. Exhale, Svadhisthana. Inhale, Svadhisthana. Exhale, Svadhisthana. The root. Inhale, Muladhara. Exhale, Muladhara. Inhale, Muladhara. Exhale, Muladhara. Returning to Sahasrara Chakra at the top, we'll now go down the back of the body. Inhale, Sahasrara. Exhale, Sahasrara. Inhale, Sahasrara. Exhale, Sahasrara. And come to the back of the head around the occiput. Inhale, Ajna. Exhale, Ajna. Inhale, Ajna. Exhale, Ajna. Back of the neck. Inhale, Vishuddha. Exhale, Vishuddha. Inhale, Vishuddha. Exhale, Vishuddha. The back of the heart behind the ribs. Inhale, Anahata. Exhale, Anahata. Inhale, Anahata. Exhale, Anahata. behind the belly. Inhale, Manipura. Exhale, Manipura. Inhale, Manipura. Exhale, Manipura. Back of the hips. Inhale, Svadhisthana. Exhale, Svadhisthana. Inhale, Svadhisthana. Exhale, Svadhisthana. The root. Inhale, Muladhara. Exhale, Muladhara. Inhale, Muladhara. Exhale, Muladhara. Returning to Sahasrara, we're going to go right down the middle. If you can visualize that spot between the front and the back for each chakra, and I'll cue us again. Inhale, Sahasrara. Exhale, Sahasrara. Inhale, Sahasrara. Exhale, Sahasrara. Inhale, Ajna. Exhale, Ajna. Inhale, Ajna. Exhale, Ajna. Inhale, Vishuddha. Exhale, Vishuddha. Inhale, Vishuddha. Exhale, Vishuddha. The heart. Inhale, Anahata. Exhale, Anahata. Inhale, Anahata. Exhale, Anahata. Inhale, Manipura. Exhale, Manipura. Inhale, Manipura. Exhale, Manipura. Inhale, Svadhisthana. Exhale, Svadhisthana. Inhale, Svadhisthana. Exhale, Svadhisthana. Inhale, Muladhara. Exhale, Muladhara. Inhale, Muladhara. Exhale, Muladhara. Now bring your awareness to the shoulders. You can touch them if you want. And then bringing the hands back to Chin Mudra. Inhale through the shoulders. Exhale through the shoulders. Inhale through the shoulders. Exhale, shoulders. Inhale through the elbows. Exhale through the elbows. Inhale, elbows. Exhale, elbows. Inhale, wrists. Exhale, wrists. Inhale through the wrists. Exhale through the wrists. Inhale through the palms. Exhale through the palms. Inhale, palms. Exhale, palms. Now inhale through the sides of the hip bones. Exhale through the sides of the hips. Inhale, hips. Exhale, hips. Inhale through the knees. Exhale, knees. Inhale, knees. Exhale, knees. Inhale, ankles. Exhale, ankles. Inhale, ankles. Exhale, ankles. And finally, inhaling as if you're drawing energy up through the soles of the feet. Exhale, soles of the feet. Inhale, soles of the feet. Exhale, soles. And then just breathe naturally, inhaling with your soul. Exhaling, soul. Inhaling, soul. And exhaling, soul. And you can bring yourself back to the space, to the room you're in, to the world you're in, to the people around you if there are any. So I've said in this class before that Om is the sound, maybe I haven't said this, it is the sound of the universe being created according to yoga wisdom. But returning to our friend from the beginning of the class, Iyengar, who wrote Light on Yoga in the 60s, he also wrote a companion companion guide called Light on Pranayama, which is about breathing and manipulating the energy of the body through breath. So in this, he has a little bit more about Om that might be helpful. Om is the word that all the Vedas glorify. Vedas are the most ancient spiritual texts originating from India. And all self-sacrifice expresses. It is the goal of all sacred studies and the symbol of holy life. Fire is latent in dried wood, and it can be generated by friction again and again. Even so, the latent divinity in the sadhaka, which is the practitioner, the yoga person, is stirred into manifestation by the word Om, A-U-M, by rubbing his intelligent awareness against the sacred word Om. He sees the hidden divinity within himself. So, Om also has kind of become other words and other sort of practices and spiritual traditions like Amen. So if you want to chant Om with us one last time, it is not the bija sound for Sahasrara. The Sahasrara is beyond. It has all and no bija sounds. But Om is a very nice way to seal in a practice. So if you like, we'll inhale, arms wide and up for Prana Mudra, gesture of life force, sealing our practice and our series in. Again, inhaling, arms wide and up. Exhale, pushing the hands down in front of you. Last time, inhaling, arms wide and up. Draw the palms together in Anjali Mudra, gesture of prayer, common to many traditions. Thumbs can connect with the heart if you want. That, according to our teacher, D. Satterfield, connects us with the good in us and, as she puts it, with the God in us. So if you would like to chant Om with us, feel free. Inhaling deeply. The light in me sees and honors the light in all of you. Thank you so much for practicing with us today. I would also like to just mention a quick thank you to our teachers, Dee Satterfield, who I just mentioned, Michelle Blue, Anjali Sanita of the Baltimore Yoga Village, who taught us to be teachers, Teo Semko, who taught us about more of the esoteric practices, Iyengar, who's got this great book that I just read from, as well as Sivananda, and who else? All of them.
So many.
So many, so many. If you have any questions, feel free to type them in the comments. Thank you very much. Bye.